Good afternoon, everyone. Good afternoon, good morning, good evening, wherever you might be in the world watching. Celeste here. So thrilled for another opportunity to share an idea with you. An idea that I think is very important for us to be mindful of. And today is a unique day to share this point. If you don't already know, first of all, like this page and share it. If you know someone that might need to hear about uh, your future and what you need to do and what we need to do collectively about tomorrow, what we can do today about tomorrow. That's what I'm going to talk to you about. I call it live by design, not default. And if you don't know already, today is July 2nd, 2022. It is the first day of the second half of the year. So we've already gotten half of the year's gone. We're in the second half, ladies and gentlemen. All right. So if you think about it on a hill, you've gone up, we're at the peak, and now we're on our way on the other side. The question is, what will the second half be like? Will it be better than the first? And my challenge is that we decide to make the second half our best half. The second half, our best half. That's what I'm suggesting we do. And there's a process actually that I'm very much engaged in, and I'm very much looking to bring people along with me to do exactly that, to live by design, not default. You may have heard me in the past saying the same thing. How do we not let things just happen to us, life just happen to us, but know that we take charge, that we design what it is and live how we were designed? I think there's a certain designing component that was in us when we were created, certain things we need to do and should be doing. Are we in alignment with that? When I think about the second half, I did a presentation just a couple of weeks ago with Shay Brown out of DC. He had a comeback champion summit, and I was a part of it. And I talked about some of this topic here, where I talk about what are you going to do to make your second half your best half. And one of the things that I talked about was the story that exemplified my point really well. And that was about Super Bowl 51. Super Bowl 51 was between the Atlanta Falcons and the New England Patriots. Now, most of you know, or some of you know, I live in the Atlanta area. And so it was very exciting for Atlanta because we are not normally in the Super Bowl. Hello. That is not something we normally do. Now, the New England Patriots, on the other hand, are often in the Super Bowl. And their fearless leader, Tom Brady, has actually the most MVPs for a Super Bowl. So they're used to being in the Super Bowl. But here's the story. When we talk about coming back in the second half, if you know this story, Super Bowl 51, from the first half, Atlanta Falcons were leading 21-0. The New England Patriots had no score. Now, this is a leading team. I call it David and Goliath, right? But Goliath had no points. And so Atlanta Falcons had 21. They go into the locker room, halftime. And I imagine in the locker room for the Atlanta Falcons, they were so excited. Man, look, we're slaughtering them. We're moving along. We just have to keep this going, and we're going to win the Super Bowl or something like that. And in the other locker room, again, not sure, but I imagine it was like really disappointed because they knew it was more in them than what they demonstrated in that first half. And so they had to rally around and they had to be determined that although it looked pretty bleak, 21-0, it's not over until you win. So they were determined and they come back into the second half. All right. And so the New England Patriots finally gets a score, and it's 3-21. Atlanta 21, New England 3. Okay, Atlanta said, wait a minute, we've got to rally and make another score. And they did 28-3. Now that's when the story changes. New England Patriots, the next 6 scores in Super Bowl 51 was New England Patriots, and they end up winning 34-28. All happened in the second half, right? They came from 0 to 34. What happened? They had a determination. They were determined that the second half was going to be better than the first. Why did I tell you this story? Because I think when we look at ourselves in our own lives, as we enter today, the second half of the year, and for those of us over 40, like myself, if you're approaching 40 or just past 40 or past 40 a few years ago, we are in our second half of our season, with the average life expectancy in the United States of being 80 years old. So, what are we going to do, ladies and gentlemen? How are we going to maximize what's been given to us? Are we really looking at the gifts and the talents that have been bred in us? Are we using those? Are we making an impact? Are we creating the legacy we want to leave? I think it's important for us to be mindful of those things. And time is fleeting. Oh my gosh. We know in the last few years, we've seen so many people leave out of here, and things have just changed and things are coming fast. And so it's important for us to get off the treadmill, take a look, assess what's in our hand, the treasures that's in our hand, the assignment we have, and make sure we're using it fully. One of the things that I'm doing, because I'm committed to that, in my membership, some of you have heard me talk about it, Voices of Hope in Action. I'm going through a process of that whole letting go of things that don't serve me well, letting go of people that no longer serve me well, letting go of thoughts that are inhibiting me that don't serve me well, letting that all go, and then looking at the treasure that's been placed in my hand. How am I using that? And designing the life, looking at our stories and how we've overcome things, reminding ourselves of the power that we have. And then moving forward, how are we going to design that? How are we going to use it? What impact are we going to make in this world with what we have? That's what I'm about. If you want to join me on that journey, I would love to have you join me. Seriously, it's up to you. No problem. But I'm doing it under the umbrella of my membership, which is called Voices of Hope in Action. Let me give you this address for those that might be interested. Check it out, voicesofhopeinaction.com. We're going to go through this process together and in a collaborative way, because we need supportive relationships as we go through this process, people that can encourage us, because life can get difficult. Yes? If you want to join me, please do. And if you don't want to join me, still, I encourage you, find a partner, find a system, find a way to dig deep, to get off the treadmill, take an assessment of who you are. Let go of those things that are no longer serving you well, that are inhibiting your best self, and then move forward. How do you make the second half of 2022 your best half? That's my challenge to you. Today's the first day. You have the rest of it, 200, whatever the number of days, 180 something, whatever that number is, the rest of the year to use that. So that's my story for you. I got to share this with you. I was going to come online. I was planning to come online, and I got a call from a family member who apparently is not doing as well as I would love for her to be doing. And it just brought home the importance of every day. Tell the people you love them. Hug the people in your life. Don't take it for granted. We don't know from day to day what's next. And now we can, while we're here, we should try to craft it. And that's what I'm going to be working with. But in the meantime, just love on the people. Let go of any nonsense. Don't hold on to grudges. Let go of all that. So anyway, you want to join us on this journey where we will actually walk people through it with a process. Please do voicesofhopeinaction.com. If you don't want to do that, find someone to partner with to help you to do that. That's my story for today. This is day one of the second half of 2022. What are you going to do? That's my story today, and I'm sticking to it. I'm Celeste. I'll talk to you later. Always be your best, and I'm here to help. Bye-bye. Love you. Ah, life. Life.